Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the Multiplex Project V2. Hopefully coming at you with a better microphone this time round. Got a bit of a funny setup going. Found this really long microphone with, well, the longest cable I've got. I've got to say, maybe it's about 3 meters, 4 meters worth of cable. It's crazy. And then I plugged that. It's a PC one, so it requires power, and plug that into a USB plug, then extender, a plug extender, should I say, USB extender. Plug the USB into there, then plugged the two wires into a splitter, into a one, into a USB-C to aux. Well, other way around, aux to USB converter, USB-C converter, and then plug that into my phone. But all in the pursuit of better audio, because the video can be what the video can be. I like how the video looks, but I don't want there to be really bad audio, because I know audio can be one of the more defining things about video. So what I thought I'd do today is, as you can see, hop on Call of Duty Ghosts, and I'm not quite sure what to expect, as I've not played this game in not long. I'll probably say about 6 months it's been about since I played this game. I definitely wasn't playing the multiplayer though, so I'm not quite sure if anybody actually plays. I think that it says players online 0. Okay, 21 people online. We've got 21 people. Let's hope we run into those 21 people. I'm sorry guys, it's a little bit of wind noise, I guess that I could equate that to. That's just when I'm laughing, sorry. Ah, yes. Have you guys tried Advanced Warfare? It's the exoskeleton movement system. Really changes how it plays, doesn't it? We will not be playing Advanced Warfare in this video. That may be a different video. I guess before we jump into it, let's kind of just have a little look around. I'll be honest, maybe one of the worst onlines that I've tried to play in recent years, because, well, there's nobody on. Okay, so we've got 18 people on Team Deathmatch right now. I remember in some of the old videos I was watching, we were playing a bit of Blitz. Obviously Infected. It's a bit of a mainstay of the warfares. I know this is Ghost, but it's in the same basket as that. There's some good modes on here. Obviously none of them are going to be populated. How many years later are we? 10 years now? Yeah. 10 years later. I was trying to work out what prestige I am, but I'm not really quite sure how you do that, if that's max. I'll be honest. Here we go. I believe that's prestige 1. Maybe. I played a little bit of this game when it came out, you know. Yeah, it's definitely prestige 1, cause I don't know if you have to buy them. Do you have to buy these? Sorry guys, I might be just getting a little bit off topic here, but yeah, you have to pay. We have to pay £1.69 if we want another loadout. That's a bit it's a bit cheap. Well, a bit cheap on their end of making me pay for it. I'm not gonna go too much into the creator class. Let's just see what happens. I do have a microphone on the Xbox, but I'm gonna prefer not to be talking in the lobby there, just because I don't want to annoy anyone. Hopefully I'm not annoying you guys though. Let's see if we get a game. I might go ahead and just pause the video. Just because, you know, if it might take 5-10 minutes for this game to load up into something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here and I'll restart when it looks like we're getting into a game. So I'm actually just going to start right back up the video because I was just having a little, you know, mess around. And what's really interesting about Call of Duty Ghosts that I didn't, with it being so long and not playing this game often, is that I guess these squad members, I didn't quite realise, but they've all got a different rank, which is really interesting. And then it tells you when your prestige, as we saw before. So then we can see I was playing this February 26, 2014, and I think that's August 16th, 2014, September 22nd, October. You can see I was really really into this game. Oh wait, so that one says Prestige 4, Prestige 3. Okay, I don't even know. This is such a foreign game. This might even just be an exploring Call of Duty Ghosts after so many years video, because I've got like no clue what is even like going on with this game. As you can see, I am a very big fan of Merrick. I believe, if I am correct, that yeah, I had to pay for Merrick back in the day, so I believe that's what it is. So to get the most out of my money, I've gone ahead and chosen for every class, which I'll be honest, I'm not really quite sure why. I think so. If I think back 10 years, very difficult to think back 10 years, I think we had all kind of picked a character, and I'm assuming one of my mates bought Captain Price, obviously. So, you know, you can't be Captain Price because I'm Captain Price, sort of thing. And then somebody probably bought Soap. So, oh, I'm Soap, so you can't be Soap. No, I don't want to be Makarov because, well, you know, no Russian. Rourke, kind of boring. Zakayev, didn't even really understand back then because I hadn't played COD 4. I guess Astronaut guy, he's quite cool, isn't he? He's got a bit of appeal to him, but I guess Merrick was just the coolest looking guy out of the lot, I guess, to me. Change cameras though. So that's probably why I bought Merrick. Yes. Of course. I also bought the Snoop Dogg announcer voice. Oh, somebody is talking in the lobby. Let's see if we leave the lobby and join again. I think we're just going to join that same game. It's looking like this is definitely more dead than Call of Duty World at War is at this point, because you can get a game. I would have been in a game by now in World at War. So this game is just really dead. So here's another thing that's really interesting. Is that the perks, you have like this. I don't know if I'm like preaching to the choir with you guys. Maybe you've played this a bunch and remember this, but a lot of these things I don't remember from like playing it back, 10 years. It just leaves you. But I guess you have these. You can select as many as you want within. Because I was hearing on one of the videos of the old videos, and it was like one of my mates, Lewis, and he was asking how much does, well, I think it was first, what's the, perk that makes you reload faster, which I felt was really obvious because sleight of hand. You think that now, but and then he was asking how much does it take up, and I'm like, what do you mean how much does it take up? And I'm like thinking, is it a pick 10 system? I was so confused. I'm like, what do you mean? How much does it take up? So yeah, how many blocks is that? Is that eight blocks of perk? And yeah, you also, I guess this. I think this. Oh yeah. I think this came from the Modern Warfare games, if I'm not mistaken. Modern Warfare 3 was it? I can't remember if this was the first one to do it or not. This is just becoming a playing Call of Duty Ghost for the first time in, let's just say, playing the online first time in 10 years, I might call it. I've definitely played Extinction in recent history. I've obviously played the game more recently than 10 years, but I just haven't interrogated the game in 10 years. I might have just hopped on, had a quick game, and just thought, wow, this is bad. Because I'll be honest, this game is not. It's not my cup of tea. If it's your guys' sort of game, then all power to you. If you can find a game with 20 people online. I remember this Ripper as well. I remember this being a big thing at the time. Cause I know, again, one of my mates, he was somebody who was able to buy all the content packs. Obviously, £3.50 now. I could just buy £3. I'm not gonna. I'll be honest, I'm not gonna, because I hope I'm not showing my payment details when I do that. Sorry guys, just want to make sure that. Yeah, no, I'm not. Good. I remember he bought that and he had that, and I was so jealous because I'm like, I want to have that because it feels like something that you're not allowed because you've got to pay for it. Yeah, the Bulldog. I remember all these like iconic ones. Bulldog was so iconic. Gold Knife. I don't even know anything about a gold knife. I remember some of my mates on the video. Somebody was going for sniper camos there. I think I got a few camos. Definitely haven't done anything there, have I? Oh wow, there's a lot of there's a lot. I think this was where Call of Duty. I guess we think of like Black Ops 2, and you had to pay for your skins on Black Ops 2, but it really seems like COD Ghosts was transitioning into what else can we make people buy. Yeah, so I've got gold there. Obviously on the Maverick, it's one of the starting guns. I've not done it there. Honey Badger, I think I'll have. No, I got close. I was trying. I was definitely trying, wasn't I? One of the games where let's see what we can make people buy, but it kind of makes me think. Oh, here we go. It's one of the worst maps. Kind of makes me think like it wasn't that bad back then. Like paying for an announcer pack. Snoop Dogg is quite a cool announcer pack, so I can't argue with having Snoop Dogg announcing. Paying for what do we call them? Sorry guys, gone blank a bit. Characters. There we go. Paying for character. Oh bloody hell! I can't believe it does that. Oh wow, that is really bad. Oh my god. Paying for characters isn't that bad as long as they're in universe. Like Captain Price, Zakayev. Soap. It makes sense. Like it. Oh, there we go. Makes sense to pay for these sorts of people because it's in theme. Wow, look at that, guys. That is the weirdest scoreboard ever. This game was trying to be so futuristic for its time. It makes sense to pay, I think it's, what was it, a couple quid? Rounding up, a couple quid for a skin. I can't believe how bad this map is. I feel like I always get this map, and it's too big. You've heard it everywhere. It's too big. Yeah, and again, like paying for camos for your gun is totally fair. You get it for every. Is that? Oh, lag. Oh wow. Oh, okay. Yep, you're seeing it here first, guys. Just lagged and killed him at the same time. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This gun's looking a lot better. I like the look of this one. Sorry, I got a bit derailed there when I found that guy. There's apparently 6 people against us, which is a bit baffling considering the fact that I'm only seeing a couple. Is that guy? No. Yeah, announcer packs, camos, skins. These are things that, you know, in essence, you know, sold as they are. Well, as they are in this game, is I can completely get on board with it. Oh, there we go. I can flick that down. But this might just turn into a rant about the newer games. I'm sorry, because you know, Call of Duty holds a near and dear place in my heart. It's like this was the game that we all, me and my mates, grew up playing, and we loved. 10 years ago, like Call of Duty Ghosts was definitely when the series was stepping down and not being as good, but we still had a lot of fun playing these Call of Duties, and there we go, we got a bit of a combat slide there, early combat slide. But, as I look at Call of Duty now, I see this shell, this former self that has just kind of stooped so low in comparison to, I didn't quite experience Call of Duty fully in its heyday of World at War to Black Ops 2. But, I was around, I was a bit young to be playing, but I was around playing it, and it was such a great game, and, well, such great games. It just, it kind of hurts to see Call of Duty have fallen so much and stooped into, like, the craziness that it's doing now. I think we'll play this one game and then we'll call it, because otherwise I'll start rambling on about how bad Call of Duty's gotten. But back on the topic of Call of Duty Ghosts, I did not see that guy. I just want to watch this back file. This was like, I think I've seen a lot of retrospect. It was a bad COD. I think back then I looked at it as, did not see him. Back then I looked at it as a really good COD, though I loved it back then. Like, I loved the dynamic map. I think it was like 1 or 2 of them where you blew it up and the map changed. I love that feature, and I think I really liked the campaign back then. I've seen like these retrospect videos of people, reviewing the campaign and the bad acting, and as I look back on it, I kind of think, wow, the acting there is really bad. But when you're younger, you don't really pick it apart. You just kind of love it for what it is, and because your mates are playing it, you're just kind of having fun. It's just like this fun experience of playing the new Call of Duty with your mates and prestiging and doing everything that comes along. Let's see if we can get a different class load out here. Let's see what we've got. And Extinction was a lot of fun. I don't think I played a lot of Extinction. The multiplayer was definitely where things were really popping off for me. Oh, what? Okay, walked right into that one, didn't I? This guy must be, is he going 14? No, he's going 14 and 7. I just don't recognise the format there. There we go. I'm going 5 and 10, so I don't have any room to... Oh my god. You guys just forget you ever saw that. Yeah, so this Call of Duty was... And I think it's one of the last that I actually played with those three mates. Like, by Black Ops 3, it was like, I think, I don't know how much I really want to get into the backstory of the three, stars of the original multiplex project, but we had Lewis at, I don't even know what gamer tag to call him back then. I think he had a few. I think he was, I can't remember. It's something Evo. He had so many over the years that it's like start to forget what everyone's gamer tag is over time. But then you had Connor, who was under Com Blue 9, and then myself as well, I've never changed. Genre 1 Kill and those are the three gamer tags that you'll see, and you can slightly, wow, I could not see him in that grass. You can you probably won't be able to recognise my voice at the time, but you'll see me in the videos, and boy, we were little shits. We were little shits, I will say. If you mind my French. That was really boring of a game. Way too big of a map. But yeah, that was the last Call of Duty that we ever really played, all three of us, because I'm still in good contact with Lewis, the original starter of the multiplex project, but some things happened between us with Connor, and I'm not really quite sure how this prestige system works. I can't believe I'm definitely not prestige master, but I'm not really quite sure if I have to maybe some of you guys understand, maybe I've got to prestige everyone in the squad, and then maybe that's why I've got 60 60 60, and I was probably working away at that, and then 1 1 there, so I was probably working on this guy to get him prestige. I think we're kind of here. I'm kind of seeing that my shorter videos are doing better, but you know what, who cares? If you don't like longer videos, and if you're actually listening to me at this point, feel free to just kind of skip through, just skip through, or if you do like the longer video style, then maybe I'm going to be really good. I don't think I actually wanted to be, I've not set the active squad member correctly. Well, we're here now. I don't know, I must have loved this scope back then, but I kind of can't get along with the idea that it's, you can't see your peripheral. Alright, I've seen this map in the old videos as well, and this one didn't look like a bad map. So we'll go into another game. We'll play one more game, just because I'm probably never gonna revisit the COD Ghost multiplayer. To be honest, it has this certain special place. But back onto the topic of the three of us, because I feel like the history of the multiplex original project is kind of something that must be told. The fact that I'm running, the multiplex project V2 now, that I've got to kind of give a little bit of the backstory. So oh wow, there was the three of us, and you can kind of if you watch the videos, if you find the original set, I did link it, I think, in the first video I made. Looking back, it's this great exercise, and it kind of goes back to what I was kind of saying in the first video, I think. I don't know, my kind of thoughts have jumbled a bit, but I wish I'd kept a lot of the videos I made. I don't know if I really talked in a lot of them because I was kind of shy, but I can kind of feel this sort of energy that we're directing at Connor in the videos, and you feel like we're not bullying. I would hope we're not bullying, but you can kind of feel there's a little bit of sidelining going on, where we're just kind of dismissing him at times, and You see, because I've always looked back on how we really fell out of friendship with Connor, because I've always like I know what happened, you know, at the worst moment we had this really this is going back. We had this falling out over Xbox 360 Messenger, and just things were said that I couldn't even repeat if I wanted to, because I'm gonna be honest, guys, I can't even remember what was said in those 360 chats, and this was before Xbox, archived all your messages. But yeah, I always thought, like, why did that come to be, and how did it happen so easily? Because at the time, I didn't realise, and carrying through to now, I'm like always thinking, okay, that guy's hacking. Okay, there's hackers on Call of Duty Ghosts, well, modders, I should say, but I was always thinking, like, I couldn't quite think why we had fallen out of touch so easily, because you look back and you kind of just think, oh, we're good mates, and we talk, and but as I see, just killed a dog. As I see the videos, I start to see this picture of, like, however many videos we talked to him as the trio, maybe like 5 or 6. It paints this picture of how this isn't really very fun, but we're on the ramble now, of how we treated him, and you can kind of think that probably, maybe more so than probably, I'm just saying probably too much, that definitely affected how he thought of us as, friends. And, I think it maybe bubbled up and just, overflowed over time, where eventually you just couldn't, handle being talked to how we were probably talking to him. Because I've got no issues with Lewis. As kids always do, you have falling outs, but, you don't talk for a few days, and then a few days later, this is getting crazy. A few days later, you make up, and it's a bit awkward for a little bit, but over time heals those wounds, where you stop really thinking about the falling out. But with Connor, it was very permanent. It didn't ever heal. I think we tried to, like, play games together again, but it just wasn't the same. And yeah, he's getting annoyed. I think. I killed one of them. It just wasn't the same anymore. And when I look back on it, it's really sad, because I think now I'm like, I wish we hadn't have fallen out and we could still be friends. This many years later, because I felt like me and Connor at times were really, we'd known each other from primary school, and it felt like a really good friendship for a while. And this is kind of becoming a therapy session for me, guys, and I apologise, this one's getting a little bit off topic, because I guess that's kind of just what COD Ghost does to me. Now that I've watched those videos, it's like this time that I kind of didn't want to lose. But, he did move away as well, and I think year 5 he moved to a location of the country. Even if I did remember, I'd probably not say, just for our privacy, but he moved away from where we were, so that also compounded, new mates, and you don't really want to split your time between your old mates back in your old location, and your new mates in your new location. And I remember as a kid, it's like you kind of like thinking, do I go play with those mates, or do I play with, those mates? And it always being a really tough decision to, narrow down. And then you feel like you betrayed somebody by playing with someone else, and you feel like you betrayed. You never win in that situation, and if you're never gonna see these, old mates in school, then you're not gonna think about it. So I'll cut this one. That one was a terrible match because the hacker took over. I will not be playing another game in this, I'll be honest. Aside from the hackers, it's just not a good game. Look at that, I went 8 and 22 on the top of the leaderboard. I don't even know how that happened. Top of the leaderboard, 8 and 22, something's going wrong, isn't it? Yeah, so I can't put that one off there. That one was a bit of a wild one. We started off looking into Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer and kind of ended off on getting a little bit dug into the past, but sometimes that's just kind of what playing some of these games does to you, because I don't play Call of Duty Ghosts anymore, so it does bring up a lot of the old times. I think I'm going to record another video after this. I'm going to go on to World at War, and I'm going to try and get round 32 on there. On Nact, should I say. Just say round 32 doesn't make any sense, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Leave a like if you like. If you like. Subscribe if you like. I've seen we've got a couple of subscribers, so if they are somehow stuck around to the end of this video, then I thank you very much for taking the time to watch my videos. Taking the time to watch any of my videos, it's much appreciated, because we're just kind of reliving the past here and just playing some of the old days. If you please leave a comment, I'll reply to every single comment that I get, because there won't be that many, so I can guarantee every single comment I get I'm going to reply to. Yeah, and I'm trying to think of some of the old things we did in those videos. I can't think of any right now. I'll watch some old videos and I'll try and pull out some old things from them. But yep, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.